Jay's a great guy. He's just not for me. He's kind of boring. Sorry, I said that.
Hey guys, today we're talking Farmer Wants a Wife, Season 3, Episode 6. Now, Billy's away on a business trip. Ashley's all hemmed up with her shoulder.
Yeah, 2 days out of surgery, a little medicated, so we'll see how this goes.
So let's get in this episode. It's Mama's choice this go round.
Yeah. So I guess everybody gets a new choice. I mean, I didn't pick up on that. I don't know, it's a little slow in last week's preview. I thought maybe Mama was choosing her favorite of the ladies they have. Turns out she's just bringing a whole nother woman in.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't bring the moms in and learn these ladies and pick their favorite from them for a one-on-one date, but that's not how they're doing it this go-round.
Yeah, and they did that. I guess it was Ryan's season they did that, the first season, and I liked that they did that. Because now it's like confusing. What if Mom would have liked one of the girls that's on the farm better than the one that they did choose?
Yeah, we don't know.
It's not fair to Mom.
So we don't even get Mom's opinion on these girls.
Or did Mom get that choice?
No, I don't think so.
Nah, they had to bring someone new in. You're right.
But that would have been good to hear from the moms and maybe save this for another episode, but for some reason they're kind of combining those two.
Yeah.
But we start off with Matt, and he's whipping up some breakfast there, putting those avocados to use.
Yeah, it looked good. I was hungry, and I wanted some.
Yeah, he looks like he knows his way around a kitchen, at least for breakfast.
Yeah, and I mean, I think if you live and work on an avocado farm, then you're probably eating avocado at every meal. So.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I like avocados, and he was whipping them up, so there you go.
There you go.
But we switch over to John's farm. They're working the chicken coop, and he's doing some practice hugs with Claire, and the other women are working, and they don't seem to enjoy it. I mean,
Lily's climbing in the coop. She's moved in. She lives in the coop now. He tries to get her out. It looks like she got stuck for a little bit.
She was all up in there.
Yeah. And so, yeah, they're really getting to work, and then there he is teaching Claire how to hug. I guess her hug wasn't as genuine enough or wasn't as tight enough, so he's like, no.
You got to work on it.
Yeah. So they practice together, and
and I get it. That would frustrate me too if I'm working on this dude's farm and then I look off and then he's. I mean that's part of the show, right? But like at the same time, I'm like, what am I doing?
At least he's not making out with her in front
That's
of everybody
true.
like Colton does. You know?
Luckily, yeah. So we go over to Jay's, and he pulls out the shovels, and he has the women shovel some crap. And we've seen Julia said she ain't going to do that. So this is a good test for her.
He actually, I think, had help on the farm that day to do that, paid help, but he let them go home just to get the girls to do it, just to see what Julia would do.
Yeah, and I think this is actually pretty smart because, like, hey, we got to find out if this girl's actually made for the farm life or not.
She says she can do it.
Well, I don't know this particular activity.
No, and it smells, and you can't lie to her and tell her it doesn't smell, and that's when we find out that she doesn't even poop because he's like, well, doesn't your poop smell? And she's like, well,
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But
I know you like that part about her.
But we never see her shovel the poo, and it doesn't look like
she did.
Didn't look like Jay's too impressed with that.
No.
So
and. Grace was wearing light colored jeans, a white sweatshirt, and she was shoveling.
She's going to work.
Yeah.
So
she didn't care.
Yeah. I actually liked Grace more this episode. Her stock is kind of rising with me. Tiana's stock went down a little bit because like I can kind of see what the girls mean about she could be kind of annoying conversations. She seems to make some things about herself. I mean, we only get little glimpses, so maybe that's just what was shown, but it seems like I was picking up on that. And like Grace, I think, was trying to be nice and, placate her a little bit.
I don't know. She seemed to kind of take a back seat a little bit. She was there just to do the work at this point. Like she wasn't causing any drama. She wasn't really in much conversation either. Like even in the group conversations when all the ladies were talking, it was basically Tiana and Julia that were talking. Karina herself was kind of quiet and Grace was very quiet.
Yeah. So they bring in the moms, they give their opinion, and then they pick a lady for these farmers to go on a little mini date with. Yeah. So, and it starts off with John.
Yeah, he was a smitten kitten by this lady. I mean, from the moment she walked up, I think he said, "Lord have mercy," and I was like, "Oh boy!" And the grin on his face, he couldn't get rid of it.
Yeah, no.
And the more she talked, the more she told him about herself. And he's like, I mean, surprised they didn't just run away and get married right there in that moment.
Yeah, Juliana, I mean, I don't know. It seemed like he was, for sure. Mama did good on this one, apparently.
Mama did good.
And she's a chef, so that's pretty cool. You know, it's always good to have someone that can cook in the house, because you're going to need that.
Italian, because she was a chef over in Italy. And she's like, I just want to, like, you know, be outside, pick my fruits and vegetables, cook, have my husband clean. And then he was like, whoa. And she's like, nah, I'm just kidding. She almost lost him at the cleaning part. And he's like, yeah. Right, back it up.
And now John, you know, he doesn't seem like he's really stuck on anyone yet either. So this is kind of like concerning, I think, for the other ladies. And as I watched all these play out, I thought all of them but Colton would bring someone back. But that isn't how it went down, but that's what I thought. And these two, it was no surprise that he brings her back to the house. Because
I would have been surprised if he didn't.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, the way the conversation's going, like you're saying, he's smiling the entire time.
Yeah.
So
they talk about having kids. They both want big families, which I was surprised to hear how many kids he wanted.
All these guys want a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I guess that's, you know, how they do it on these farms and stuff like that. But that's a lot. And
that's
I hope you have enough money to, you know, afford all those.
I can't come up with names for 5 kids like that. I'm going to start numbering them at one point, you know?
Yeah. But Matt meets up with her. And I guess Mama chose her because she eats well or something like that.
She makes really good food choices. And, you know, that's always a plus.
Yeah, and I feel like Mom went on looks or something on this one, because there wasn't
She's
a
beautiful.
whole lot of I mean, and that conversation went just fine and everything. But
yeah, I didn't get any depth in that conversation though. At least what we were shown. I mean, maybe they had a deeper conversation, but through editing, what we were shown, I don't really know what she was about or what he was about with her, you know.
I do like how they're having the kid conversations early, and maybe they just edited them out on the other women like initially. But I'm like, that's kind of like a question I feel like you should ask pretty early.
I mean, at this point in time, he's got women to choose from. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Do you want kids? How many kids are we having?
I think he said 6 or something. I mean, was like, whoa.
I didn't realize nowadays that's a first date question, but here we go.
I think she was on board with that, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like everyone wants a litter of kids at this point. Like, I don't know why.
So I was kind of 50-50 on this one, but I thought, like, he would, especially because the other girls are talking about, like, he doesn't really, like, say no too much or, you know. I guess he's kind of standoffish compared to, like, John, who wants to be in the driver's seat. But
He comes across as a people pleaser. He doesn't want to upset people. He doesn't want to rock the boat. So he's just going to try to keep things even keel.
And that was the other big thing about Julianne is, like, she was kind of more passive, you know?
Yeah.
She wants to be led.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a big thing, that she didn't want to be in the driver's seat. Like, oh, my God, I already Samantha. I forgot her name. She's long gone, guys. Long gone. Yes, finally, John can drive.
Yeah, so that was probably music to his ears.
Yeah, he was like, oh, this is right.
And then we move over to Jay with Rissa, and they were like, you know, they were getting along just great, and a lot of, like, key things they agreed upon and stuff, especially the family and things like that.
It makes me wonder, like, these moms, how close they are with their sons. Like, Jay and his mom must be really close, because I think Jay's mom got this one just right.
She got the assignment, like, because she's
understood
good looking. She's good looking, and then she seems open more so to the farm life than someone like Julia or something like that. So. But, what'd you think of these two?
I liked them. I liked the chemistry they had. They seem to have the same goals in life, same, you know,
and
outlook on family. She's tall.
Apparently Jay likes that, even though he hasn't really mentioned that before. And, you know, Grace is kind of on the short side compared to some of the others.
You know, that's something I noticed on their first date was when they were kissing. And I'm like, man, a lifetime of kissing someone like that. I mean, I get it. It happens in many relationships, especially, you know, you got star athletes that are like 100 feet tall and their girlfriends are always short for some reason. But I'm like, that's got to hurt everybody's neck. Like, is that a comfortable thing throughout life for a lifetime relationship, a marriage, you know? So do you want someone that much different than you?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a deal breaker.
I don't think it's a deal breaker either, but if you have someone...
Might be a plus, though.
Maybe? I don't know.
But Colton meets up with Kate, and his first question to her is like, do you know how to ride horses?
Yeah, it's very important to know.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. I mean...
It is the Lord's Uber.
Yeah. So, I mean, it seems kind of to me an odd question, but maybe he just had that as an icebreaker because he is kind of like jokey and sometimes, and some of the jokes are starting to rub people the wrong way, I guess.
True. So, does he take anything seriously?
Yeah.
I think that's what they're starting to wonder.
He doesn't make out with her, so it's hard to know whether this is going good or not.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because, who knows with him? I don't think that, I don't see this going well, and I don't see that this conversation started that way. There must have been it was a very boring conversation. There wasn't chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah, he looked kind of bored.
He was like, I really got to get back to my ladies, you know what I mean? So
I mean, he brings up the kid thing, and she seemed a little neutral on this. Like,
I don't know. She seemed okay. She's like, asked about him, and he mentioned that he likes to be outside and he's not an iPad kid or whatever. And she said, you're doing a good job if that's the case. So, like, I don't know. She said
I don't know. It didn't seem like she was overly thrilled, but she said the right thing. But I felt like there was a little hesitation.
Do you think there was a hesitation that he already has a kid and she doesn't want to be like a stepmom? Or is that what you think the hesitation was?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of I mean, he even makes it like it's a negative, right? I think it is a little bit negative. Obviously, people get past it all the time, but it's not ideal. Maybe just like the height thing. It's not ideal. Can you get over it? Sure, but, you know.
Is it, do you think there's a sexist thing here? Do you think that a woman bringing a kid into a relationship is different than a man bringing a kid into a relationship?
I don't know.
Let us know what you think.
Good question.
Interesting.
I don't think it's ideal, so, but
it happens all the time.
I think, like, how you get along with someone in your attraction, that could prove stronger. And with kids comes baggage a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times.
And that is the interesting part to me is that, we know he has a kid. We know he really loves his son. He's very proud of his son and the type of kid he's becoming and all that kind of stuff. But you don't hear anything about his mom.
If his ex is a pain, that's someone you always have to deal with.
Yeah, and maybe they've had these conversations and we just haven't seen them, and maybe there's a reason they're not showing those. But yeah, that's a huge impact on your relationship. You have to work with this other person if they're still around.
And I don't think anyone likes exes hanging around, and this one you can't get rid of for a long time at least. So
I think it's a probably more of a problem than just the child itself. Also, like what couples coming together and having children, they have to come to an agreement on how you're going to raise that child, parenting style, all that stuff. Now you have a whole third party.
It definitely complicates it. But I will say, like, we've seen plenty of people, they come in and it's like one of the best things ever because now they have a kid of that they're sharing with as well, and they build that bond. It is great. So, but it does complicate things. So. Yeah,
conversations need to be had, and that's the thing is the conversations. Whoever's going to end up with him needs to have that conversation of how is your relationship with this ex? How is my relationship going to be with this ex? And maybe they're having them, and we're just not seeing them. I don't know.
But John is the first to bring someone back home. Yeah. And the ladies are not overly thrilled with this decision.
No, they're really not. Yeah, they're not welcoming. It's very awkward. They're very quiet.
It's always funny because when they bring the ladies in, they almost expect like the other girls to like jump for joy and welcome them in. And like, why would they? Why would they? So, I don't think it has to be as awkward as it is, but I get it.
Yeah, I mean, and they all get up and leave her in the room. Like one person leaves. Who is it? Kayla is the first person to leave, and then Lily.
I think like Kaylee takes him off to the side. She's crying, of course. I mean, she's a pretty emotional person. We've seen her cry before, so.
Yeah, and he mentions the emotions again. He's not a fan of the emotions. I don't think he can handle an emotional girl.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna turn out well for those two.
I know it's not gonna turn out well for those two. Like he cannot. He's said it. That he doesn't want to be responsible.
He points it out.
Yeah, so he doesn't want to be responsible for those emotions, and she keeps showing them.
And then I think it's Lily also brings him to the side, but she handles it much better, I think.
Yeah, because she doesn't get emotional.
Yeah.
He does not like the emotion.
And I feel like she tells him how she's kind of feeling about the situation without blowing up or whatever about it. So
and basically, like, you got to let us know how you're feeling more. And I guess that's what she's saying. Like, we don't know where you're at. We can't read you. You got to communicate with us a little bit better.
Yeah, and like I said before, I mean, these women should be worried because he doesn't seem to have a favorite, and the way he was acting with her seems like he thinks highly of her.
I think someone needs to give these other girls like the driver's seat talk, like because he really I think latched on to the fact that she says she wants to be led.
Yeah,
and that was a big problem with Sam.
Yeah, and I think it's worrisome when the farmer chooses to bring someone back, because I think that sends a clear message to Lady, because if he really, really liked the girl, why do you bring someone back?
Yeah. He clearly wasn't all in on one.
Yeah.
Point, yeah.
And then, Colton decides not to bring one back. I mean, he has a bunch of wonderful ladies that he still needs to explore.
Do you think he's all in on one? Or do you think he's torn?
Nah, I think it's open.
Yeah?
Because, I mean, he likes Bailee. I forgot the redhead's name, but, she's cool. And then I think, Zoe's on there as well. So those are 3 great ladies he has to choose from. And maybe even the 4th one. No. So, I don't know. But I didn't think he needed to bring one back. He makes the joke about it.
Hope.
And Hope. And Hope was actually not too impressed with the jokes he's making these days. So.
No, I think Hope is going to self-eliminate, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And
I don't think she's feeling it as much.
And I could see ladies on his farm being irritated.
Yeah.
So I totally get that, and I totally understand. And if you weren't feeling that connection, why stick around?
Yeah, and I don't think Hope feels it. So I think Hope will self-eliminate next week.
Yeah, we'll see. Now, Matt also chooses not to bring. This one was a surprise to me, but... It
was a surprise to his ladies, too, because he's a people pleaser. He doesn't want to rock the boat. He,
and he's another one
anybody's feelings.
That's not really locked in, I don't think.
Yeah, I can't read this guy. I don't know what he wants.
I think he's a good guy, but I don't know what's going on with him not... I mean, he's in hot tubs with other ladies, not making any moves. It's just, very cordial.
Again, I don't think he knows what he wants. That's the problem. I mean, I think he's a good guy, too. I don't think there's anything wrong with not knowing what you want. But, you're on this show to choose someone that you want. So you might want to figure that out.
Now, Jay does decide. I mean, I think Jay has a crop of wonderful ladies too, but he's
a crop of wonderful ladies.
Well, they're farmers, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But he does decide to bring Rissa back,
which is smart.
In the middle of s'more time too.
Yeah, and that's a little embarrassing for those ladies. You're shoving marshmallow and chocolate in your mouth, all smeared and everything, and you got this new beautiful lady coming in, your competition, and you're shoving your face with.
Yeah. And this one obviously doesn't go over too well either, but Julia's really kind of making a scene of it.
Yeah. Rissa makes the comment, she's like, well, this is nice. And Julia's like, is it?
Now, I do wonder if Jay was already thinking Julia's going to be the next to go, but she starts making these snide comments and he decides to pull her aside and cuts her loose.
I just feel like you're lucky to have me here and you're not taking advantage of it. That's all. But that's so I'm just kind of checked out and kind of whatever.
Yeah. And I didn't like her little, I think you don't realize how lucky you are to have me here. Really?
Well, I mean, he is kind of lucky. All these farmers kind of lucky to have all these women, to be honest with you. She got a point there, but I don't know if that was the exact point she was trying to make.
I mean, no, I think the point was that she's a catch and, he should consider himself lucky that she would even consider him. And I don't if you don't have the connection...
She started.
You can be a gorgeous girl. She's gorgeous.
Yeah,
we all get it. But
she started to head down the mean girl route, but she kind of pulled back. I think a little bit.
She did. She head down, and then I think she felt a little bit bad about Tiana crying, so she did pull back. But she wasn't feeling it there. I mean, it was very obvious she didn't want to be on the farm.
Yeah,
I think she's packing up all 17 of her bags. She's saying, "Good luck. I hope you guys like the farm life better than me, because I'm out." She's just whatever.
And I don't think anyone's surprised. I think she was just here to kind of get famous and be on the show.
She was disrespectful when he was trying. He was trying to end it politely, and she's like, "Yeah, whatever,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, Tiana wants to talk with him, and she self-eliminates.
Yeah. Well, and he likes to point out that it was a mutual, because he said later he was like, "Yeah, it was kind of mutual, her leaving," which I get, because I think at the same point.
Well, I don't know if they want 2 women going back to back. So I think it was more her choice, but he probably felt like there wasn't a connection. So
right. He probably would have kept her around, but then one more time and then eliminated her.
So was this smart for Tiana?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they don't have a connection. She's felt like she's on the outside. Now this new girl's come in. She was going to go next anyway. So to self-eliminate, she's an emotional girl as it is. Let's protect her own heart and
I don't think she is high on his list as much as Grace and Karina, I think is her name.
Yeah.
And now you bring Rissa in, and it's like, uh-oh, you're probably below all three of them at this point.
Yeah. So she saw the writing on the wall.
And she was somewhat emotional, too, so I think that was a smart choice for her to go. So,
agreed.
Was that all of them here? Now, we did have a poll, and we asked, who's your favorite farmer? Who'd you choose on that one?
I chose Jay. Jay is, to me, seems the most genuine as far as he knows what he wants. He's ready for it, and he knows what he wants. Whereas the other ones, I'm not sure that they even, like John, I'm not even really sure he's ready.
He knows what he wants, but he just brought a new girl in.
I just don't know if he's ready to settle down. And Matt, I don't think he knows what he wants. And Colton, I think, is just looking for a baby mama or someone to have fun with. I don't know. So Jay seems the most genuine, wanting to settle down, start a family, and have somebody.
Now
I
chose John. I don't really know why.
The mustache.
But, yeah, well, maybe he's got that Magnum PI mustache. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it got you.
But,
I mean, he's good looking. Don't get me wrong.
But the top two farmers, Jay and Matt, were tied. Does that surprise you at all?
Yeah, Matt surprises me because Matt just seems to be along for the ride. I don't.
Well, he might
He's
just
a
be too
likable
nice of a
guy,
guy. I don't know.
He's a
and I
likable
think
guy.
a lot of ladies respect the fact he's not just making out with all the girls.
True.
So
maybe it's the avocado farm in California that they like too.
It is a beautiful farm, and like Colton is the least liked. And that doesn't surprise me, the way he's handled himself on the show.
Yeah.
You know, he's a dad, but yet he is making out with everyone, makes a joke of it.
Yeah, I can see that. Why he's one of the least favorite.
Yeah. I mean,
he's a nice guy.
He's probably the lowest guy on my list as well. So
yeah.
I'm not surprised by that at all.
Yeah, he doesn't seem, I don't know, mature, but you said he's young.
I think he's the second oldest on the show. I think he's 28, allegedly. So I don't know. But, you know, this episode was interesting. We got the mamas picking the ladies, and I get why the ladies are upset, and it's not a good sign when a farmer chooses to bring in all ladies. That you have to question your connection with him at that point, because if you had a solid connection, why would he feel the need to bring someone else, especially on a truncated show? And all the ladies are already struggling to get time in.
This is Farmer Wants a Wife. A wife. Now, granted, in other seasons, it turns out it's a girlfriend for 5 minutes or nobody, but it's ultimately to choose a wife. And if there's this other person that comes in that you can see a genuine connection with that could be that person, you owe it to them, to yourself, and to those other ladies back at the farm to explore it. So I get that it's uncomfortable and they should be scared about it, but I would much rather, if it were me on the show, that the person I'm potentially going to be with has explored all the options to know they want to be with me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's looking at it from the farmer's point of view. I think if you look at it from the girls, I think it's pretty disrespectful, and it says, like, what does that say about the connection that we have, or... And
well,
I think
I
think it shows maybe your connection really ain't that strong. They choose another person. So
yeah.
And I hope the ladies they bring in, because the last time they did this, there was like one lady in particular that like said, "Well, I got to get back to work and stuff." So
yeah, she walked the boat. She's like, "Yeah, I can't stick around though." You know what I mean? Like my patients need me. I gotta go.
So I hope these ladies are serious, and I think they are, because like Rissa, I think she's pretty serious, and I hope
I'm going to be very disappointed if we get different versions of these women next week. I'll be very.
Well, we haven't seen much of them so far, and we haven't seen them do stuff on the farm, so we'll see. Right now, like they're new and they're all gussied up and everything. So, and we'll see how they interact with the other ladies and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
But I thought it was a great episode.
Agreed. I would like moms to meet the other ladies too, though. Is that going to happen this season? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I would like to hear their thoughts on the current ladies, especially when they get down to 3 or something like that, but we'll see. But that's the episode. Let us know what you think about the mom's choices and these new girls coming in. Should they have brought them in? No? Yeah?
Yeah.